Good advice. The old teacher was far from happy. Of all his pupils, Rajan was his favorite. Yet, whilst all the other pupils had finished their studies with merit, he had to admit, Rajan was just not a good scholar. When the pupils came to leave, the teacher beckoned Rajan. "I hardly know what to say to you, Rajan," he said. "In some ways you are above the ordinary, yet I have failed to make you a good scholar." Rajan, who realized his own shortcomings, looked a little downcast. "I am sorry, sir," he said, "but I do appreciate all the help and guidance you have given me." "Never mind, my lad," the teacher said with a smile. "You will probably do well in the world. However, here are 3 golden rules which you should follow. Firstly, if you keep on trying, you will attain your objective. Secondly, if you ask sufficient questions, you will obtain the answer. And lastly, if you think twice before you act, you will not make foolish mistakes." Armed with this advice, Rajan set out in the world to make his fortune. He decided that he would go to the city of Vedavati. It was a long, long journey, and having very little money, Rajan had to rely on getting lifts from place to place. Eventually, he arrived in Vedavati, and he thought to himself that he had certainly taken heed of his teacher's first piece of advice, for he had had to try very hard to reach the city of his dreams. For days, Rajan wandered round the city streets asking innumerable questions, and very soon he knew quite a lot about the city and the people who lived there. That, he thought, was the result of his teacher's second piece of advice. One morning, hearing the beating of a drum, he made his way to the city square, and there was the town crier lustily announcing that the queen was offering her daughter's hand in marriage to any suitable young man. On the platform was a large portrait of the daughter, and she was certainly very beautiful. Turning to one of the bystanders, Rajan remarked, "For such a beautiful girl, there are bound to be hundreds of suitors." "Oh no," replied the man. "There is a curse on such a marriage. The princess has been wedded 3 times already, and each time the poor bridegroom has died on the night of the marriage." Rajan thought this was all very strange, but nothing ventured, nothing gained, so he decided he would ask for the princess's hand. Dressed in the best clothes he possessed, he presented himself at the palace and was surprised to find he was greeted with open arms, and no time was lost in arranging the wedding. On the night of the wedding, Rajan was shown to a sumptuous bedchamber. Remembering what had happened to the other bridegrooms, Rajan also recalled his teacher's third piece of advice to think twice before he did anything. Carefully examining the room for any hidden assailants, Rajan arranged cushions under the bedclothes so that it looked as though he was sleeping in the bed. Then, hiding behind a cupboard, Rajan prepared to wait and see what happened. Around midnight, Rajan heard a loud hissing, and in the dim light he could see a huge cobra slithering across the floor to the bed. As soon as the reptile got on the bed, Rajan quietly left his hiding place and, picking up his sword, killed the snake with one stroke. The following morning, everyone expressed grateful surprise that the bridegroom was still alive. And the happiest of all was the princess. Moral: good advice, when followed with sincerity and courage, becomes the key to overcoming even the greatest dangers.